This video was sponsored by Squarespace. I was browsing First Dibs, as you do, and I came upon this stool by Czech artist Milan Pekař. I love this stool, and I'm pretty sure that my red clay fires to nearly the same color. I'm also pretty sure I have nearly the exact same glaze. So, now, the construction of this stool is fairly simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Basically, it's just a series of tubes, and believe it or not, I happen to have a perfect extruded die for this. I don't think I've used this extruded die more than once, and that was for the air conditioner, the first air conditioner video that I made 3 years ago. But luckily I'm a pack rat, so I still have the die. That's unfortunate. The knobs are bumping into my tube. Why was that designed that way? It's a little ovular, but maybe I can fix that. Should have planned for this. I need like a pool noodle or something to stick in it so I can let it dry on its side. Or we just try it. Let me see if it's gonna flop itself. No, he's definitely flopping. Oh, no. Okay. This one might be ruined now. Okay, I feel like that's fine. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna fall over in 5 minutes. Is it gonna stay? Maybe I don't need to make them all so long. What do I need to stick in there? Like, all I can think of is like a pool noodle right now, but I don't have a pool noodle, unfortunately. He just needs to dry for like maybe an hour before he should hold himself up. So I made 16 tubes. I sort of calculated how many I would need, and I made all of the ones I need plus 2 extra. So I feel like I just need to let these dry out now. I can't really manipulate them until they're more firm. So I think what I'm going to do is let them sit like this for a few hours, and then maybe later today, I'll cover them with some plastic so that they don't get too dry. And then tomorrow we'll get back to them. Okay, so I did something kind of dumb. I forgot to cover my tubes last night. And this morning I gave them a good spritz with the water bottle, and I've covered them. They're a little on the dry side. I'm hoping they'll still work though. Let's see. So here's my little drawing. So I realized that the tubes are a little bit too wide for this project. They will work for some parts, but I do actually need to narrow some of the tubes. I'm hoping that I can do that. Basically, there's 4 main parts. There's the seat, which will have narrower tubes. There's the seat frame, there's the legs, and then there's the supports. And the supports and the seat will both have more narrow tubes. And I think the order that we should approach this is I'll make the tube smaller that I need to make smaller. I'll make the seat frame, and then I can upside down build up the legs, add the supports, flip it, add the seats. It's not easy, but it's simple. This is what I'm thinking. And I need to be very mindful of my kiln dimensions. 35 centimeters tall and 40 centimeters wide. The stool won't be able to be 40 centimeters wide because it's gonna be a square fitting in a circle. So I have it about 26 centimeters here. Let's see. First step is to make some of these tubes more narrow. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you've never heard about Squarespace before, they are an all-in-one website platform that artists and entrepreneurs use to stand out and succeed online. I've personally been using Squarespace ever since I started my online business because it has incredibly easy-to-use features, including their drag-and-drop website builder and integrated SEO tools. Whether you're just starting out or managing a thriving brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website to sell anything from physical products to memberships, digital products, and even services. You can also schedule appointments, create on-brand invoices, and send newsletters. And for the artists watching, I know you will love their cutting-edge design tools, where you can create a bespoke website that perfectly fits your brand or business. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, I've got them back here and I keep spritzing them with the water bottle. They are indeed a bit too dry, so I am quite worried that they're gonna start opening along those seams. I can put the seams on parts that will connect to other parts, so maybe that will save them. We shall see. But I think the next step now is to make the frame for the seat. So I have to choose my tubes wisely. How am I gonna do this? So I didn't do a very good job of cutting these edges at perfect 45-degree angles. So the attachment of these four corners was a little bit wonky. And on top of that, it's just a touch too dry. Like I want the clay to be quite firm. This piece is perfect. Like you want it to be quite firm, but then parts of it are like breaking. You see? Depending, like some sides are drier than other sides. Anyway, I am really worried about cracking with this piece. I feel like I kind of messed this whole thing up right at the very beginning with letting my tubes get too dry, but I am still gonna hope that it's going to work. Like it could still work. Stranger things have happened. So I need to like let this chill for a little bit and firm up. I might just let this sit for like 10 minutes and then we're gonna move on. What I don't want to do is let this sit and homogenize till tomorrow because it's just too dry. I would like it to kind of chill in its new shape and settle in, but it's just too dry. I can't do that. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and then we can prepare the rest of the tubes, and hopefully by the time those are prepared, we can start building the legs upward from here. I saved the straightest ones for the legs. Let's see, I don't actually need that much. So when I place the legs, they're kind of, at least this one, they're kind of going out a little bit, which I do like, but like I didn't calculate for that for the kiln. Luckily I have this thing. This is basically a stencil of my kiln. Yeah, and it just fits. So we're gonna go with these slightly faired out legs. I actually think it looks really, really cute. I'm getting very excited. I just had a realization that I should probably cut out this inner part before I attach them, because that's going to allow it to move a little bit without cracking. I can just barely fit my hand in there because I'm worried about cutting it out and then I push it down and then the whole thing sort of starts to collapse. But if I push it down and then hold it up on the inside and kind of like tuck it in like that, I feel like that might work. Let's give it a try. I have to cut up this one as well then. I'm not gonna cut exactly to it, but I'll leave a little bit of a gap. It's a little tight, but I'm sort of bending it upwards. Oh God. What would I do if I had bigger hands? Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to carve back the majority of this coil, this blended coil, but that will be a tomorrow task. See, this is what I was worried about. We have a stress crack. I did not connect these well enough. And at this point, there's very little I can do to fix it. I can slip, I can score as much as I want, but such a crack is deep and I don't know how to explain. I can make it like look like it disappears, but it's probably gonna come out in the kiln, and that is a huge bummer. That is a huge bummer. I'm gonna try everything I can. I'm gonna attach like a sort of like Band-Aid to it right now. There's like a 25% chance that it will work. So we take whatever chance we can get. Okay, I've kind of gotten a little sad because I feel like I ruined everything at the very beginning, and it's looking so good if it wasn't for that stupid crack that appeared. And that really, it just makes me think that more cracks are going to appear. And I was debating this morning, should I just re-extrude all of the tubes and start over? But I don't want to waste all this clay. It was like 1.5 bags of clay. I really want to make this work somehow. So I can't work on this anymore today because it's clearly showing weakness in the seams. I need to wrap this up, let it settle, let it chill, and I'll get back to it tomorrow. I'm gonna spray this with some water and I'm going to wrap it really, really tightly, especially the tubes that I haven't used yet. I'm going to wrap up really, really well, and hopefully it's in a better condition tomorrow. I did bandage up the crack as much as I could. It's up to the kiln gods now. I did make an incredible amount of scrap. I also have 2 extra tubes. This one is kind of messed up. I'm gonna save these as well. Anything that gets tossed out is just going to be reclaimed. So it's not really wasting the clay, but I don't know. Reclaiming is no fun. Fits, but just barely. Hopefully it will shrink a little bit as well. Good morning. I'm in the studio a little bit earlier than I normally would be because I'm just so anxious about this piece. It is very possible for these cracks to kind of come out overnight, so we shall see. It actually looks okay. That doesn't mean that we're, in the clear quite yet, but it's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to tidy this up now, and then I think the next step is to add the crossbars before we flip it over. I might need to let it sit and homogenize again one more night so that it can be strong enough to flip it, because we need to flip it before we add the seat part. One step at a time. First, I'm going to tidy up these seams. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I think it was very fiddly, but I think I did a good job of attaching all the supports. I am dying to flip this over, but I dare not right now. I really want this to firm up, because once I flip it, there's going to be pressure going out like this because of the weight, and that's going to pull these seams apart. So I need these seams to firm up before I do that. I have one problem though, and that is that these cross beams were longer than I expected them to be. So I thought I would be able to cut these in half to make the cross beams. Turns out I needed the whole length. So now I only have 2 tubes for the seats left. So I actually have to extrude some more tubes. That's fine. I can extrude them now and let them firm up until tomorrow, and then I'll make them smaller tomorrow. I'll, make the tube more narrow tomorrow, and then I can attach them, and that's when I'll finish up the whole stool. Yeah, we're on a good timeline. We're in a good place. I'm feeling slightly more optimistic today about this project. Yeah. Good morning. We are hopefully going to finish this today. I'm not going to unwrap my stool quite yet because I want to shrink my tubes first. It sounds kind of weird. Tasks for today: shrink the tubes, tidy up our stool, add the seat, the tubes that I am currently shrinking. I think that's it. I really think that we can finish this today. I really, really think we can. Now, these, I wrapped them in plastic. This is the moisture level that I was hoping for the original tubes. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna tidy up these seams now, and then we can flip it over. I've set up my laser level so I can try to trim these so that they're nice and flat, so the stool will be stable. Just hoping that my table is flat, Shall we try and turn this bad boy over? The question is it strong enough to support itself? It's not so terribly heavy. How am I gonna do this? Can I just, yeah. I think this might be the cutest thing that I have ever made. How freaking adorable is this? Okay, wait, can you even see? Wait, let me... Look at this! This is the cutest thing. And so far, I feel like it's solid. Shockingly solid. Like, that doesn't mean it's not gonna crack in the kiln. In fact, I sort of anticipated cracking in the kiln simply because there's so many parts connected together and it all has to shrink together and it's not gonna want to shrink together. But shall we start to add the tops? So there should fit 4 tubes on here. I need to trim them still, but let's see. Left a little bit of wiggle room for that. And I can always squish them a little bit if they're too narrow. And then I have 1 more tube left. I could potentially, I think, no, it needs to be 4. And I'm gonna just squish them a little bit so they're just like a tiny bit more flattened. So they take up just a tiny bit more space. This looks so good, guys. Okay, I need to decide how much of an overhang I want or not. I think approximately okay, I don't have to worry about the top. I feel like it's the bottom that I have to worry about. So it doesn't really matter how long I make these, or I just need to make sure they're not wider than the legs, and I think they shouldn't be. I'm thinking I'm gonna put the seams facing downward so that the attachment can help keep the seams together. That feels logical to me. Okay, we're gonna make them 27 because that is the length of the most narrow tube. Well, what do we think? This guy's a little squished, huh? Stop being so squished, please. Yes. I am feeling cautiously optimistic about this bad boy. I think he looks really good. I think there is a chance that it doesn't get completely cracked in 100 places. So I made the decision to just connect these guys to the support structure and not to each other. Hopefully that gives them a little bit more room to move. Cracking wise, I'm mostly concerned about these seams, the cross beams attaching to the legs, and this. Like, it's just a square doesn't really allow for much movement, you know? I'm basically done now. I think what I'm going to do is wrap this guy up really good, let him homogenize for 1, maybe 2 days, and then I'm going to come back and just do a little bit of tidying. There's a few scoring lines and whatnot, but I'm gonna do that off camera, that's not interesting. Mostly I'm going to let this guy slow dry, like really, really slow. So under plastic, and then under lighter plastic, and then under cloth. Just slow, slow, slow over the next week or 2. Slow drying is the main way that we're going to prevent this guy from cracking. Yeah, so that's my plan. I'm really excited. So I'll see you guys when it's dry. This bad boy has been drying for 2 weeks. I would like to try and put it into the kiln today. I want to believe it's fully dry. All logic says it's fully dry. I am just nervous to fire this. I just have to bite the bullet and put it in. Just have to do it. Good. Beautiful. Wow. I'm gonna say that's a perfect fit. Look at that. It's a bit tight, but it's enough wiggle room that I feel comfortable. Okay, be good. Cross your fingers for me, please. Kiln is cool. Let us hope that we don't have any explosions. There is that one part on the top frame that is like mostly closed, except it's open to the legs. This is the part I'm worried about. Okay, looks good. We have no explosions. Oh. This color is kind of crazy, but I promise it's gonna look better when it's fired. This looks really good. I do not see a single crack. I think that the only thing that I'm disappointed with is there's still some scoring marks that I missed, but I'm kind of hoping that I can cover that up with glaze. I'm a little bit worried about glazing this thing. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. The easiest thing is if I had a bucket that was big enough and I would just dip it in, but my buckets are a little bit too small for that. I'm gonna have to do this kind of wild and wonky. And then the glaze effect that I want, this green, look, this is actually 2 glazes layered on top of each other. So I'm going to have to do like double the pouring. I think I need to do this in 2 steps. Step number 1, I need to glaze it on its side so I can get the inside of these. Something to catch the glaze, pour it. And then I think I'm gonna turn it up like this so I can get the legs. I do wanna leave a little bit of the legs unglazed. Mask that off with some masking tape. Okay, I am nervous about this process because I feel like it's gonna make a big mess, but there's no way around it. Like, the best solution would be to have bigger buckets, but I'm not gonna buy a bucket just for this process. Just for this project, I'm not gonna buy a bucket. So, we shall see. Worked? Question mark? I think. I guess I need to do the whole process and then I can go back with the green. I am worried that my glazing is too thick. In case you're wondering, I'm worried about that too. Okay. I've done as good as I can. I'm actually surprised that this clay is not totally saturated. I wonder, I should probably let it dry out a little bit now before I apply the next layer, but I kind of just want to get this over with. It's going to be quite like blobby and imperfect, and the white will show through more in some places and less in other places, so it's going to be fine. As long as the vast majority is covered, which it is. If it's too thick, I do not know. But at least that first part is done. Now we can move on to the green. If you have like a suggestion for what sort of bucket I need to get here, because I was thinking like what would be cool is to have like this giant, you know, like the bath tray that Baby Steak has. Do you know what I'm talking about? Something like that. Or should I just get like a giant bucket for the studio that I can use for these types of projects that I can just pour the glaze in, dunk it, and pour the glaze back out? I don't know if I would have enough glaze to make that worth it. I don't know. I really like the size of these buckets in general. I don't want to get massive buckets for all of my glazes because then you have to like buy more glaze. I think these are 25 liters. I feel like they're like the perfect size. Obviously not for this piece. microscopic. I really should wait till tomorrow to let this dry out completely, but I want to get this done. The good thing is the project itself is like okay with being a little crazy. Like the original piece is very patchy and weird as well, so should be fine. Just need to be really careful where I'm touching it so I don't pull the glaze off with my fingers. Okay, here is the current situation. You can tell it's totally saturated now. Like all that darkness in the glaze, that's saturation, saturated bisque. So I am going to let it dry until tomorrow before I try and load it in the kiln. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of patching tomorrow as well. But the reason I wanted to get all this done today is because I just want to get the messy part out so I can launder my clothes and not get messy again tomorrow. Anyway, I do think he is looking good. I feel like this glaze, it's applied fairly thick, but I also feel like this glaze is fairly forgiving. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Like the worst case scenario is that it starts to pull away from itself and I get these bare patches, but only one way to see if that will happen, I guess. And you please write down below in the comments if you have any tips for like a better glazing situation for a big piece like this, because I do enjoy making big pieces. Okay, I think this is good enough. I'm just gonna call it with this one. I was debating like, should I pull back some of the drips? But the issue here is that the very thick glazed parts could like pull away from each other so that it reveals the clay underneath. That happens sometimes when the glaze is applied too thickly. At the same time, I feel like the more I tidy this up, the more I'm gonna make it look worse. Sometimes it's okay. Like I feel like this project is a perfect example of like, we're just gonna kind of lean into the sloppy glazing of it. It's gonna look kind of chaotic. It's gonna look fun. We will see. I'm hoping that we get lots of like cool textures and drips and stuff without getting that pulling apart. I have no idea if that's going to happen. I've definitely had that with this glaze combination before where it does start to pull apart. So easily could happen. Let's see. Only one way to find out. The other thing I've done is I've put a kiln shelf in my kiln on the bottom that already has one glaze drip on it. So that if I get more glaze drips, it's fine. That kiln shelf is already a little bit messed up. I'm not going to be heartbroken. I think that removing the glaze up to a certain point is certainly helpful to prevent glaze drippage, but it might still happen. A glaze piece could just drip like down from the middle here, for example. Okay, I'm going to very carefully pick this up now and put it into the kiln because at this point, any little touch in the wrong spot could knock off a chunk of glaze. Did not breathe for that entire process. I think I didn't knock off any glaze, but all right. This was a doozy of a project. Let's hope it works. The kiln is cool. I hope my glaze looks okay. Okay. This is not looking how I expected it to look. Okay, what do we think? it just looks so completely different than I expected. So it's kind of hard for me to see it clearly because I feel like it looks wrong because it's not what I pictured in my head. But I'm trying to like clear that out and see it for what it is. And I think I like it. So this kind of crazy texture that we have going on here is not something I normally do. A lot of potters do this and they try and get these crazy effects. I don't know, it's something that just never really appealed to me, but I kind of like it on this piece. There is so much depth to this glaze. Like, I think I wouldn't like it if it just had this kind of brown, like you see where the brown's coming through, and then on top of it, this is the color that it's supposed to be, this kind of white behind the green. I wouldn't like it if it just had that, but it also has this very dark part and, you know, like little splotches everywhere. There's like a very big white splotch here, all these different effects. And I feel like that is what saves it to me. Because the glaze has depth to it, it doesn't look like a mistake. Even though it sort of is, but we don't have to tell anyone that. These parts you see here, this is where like the glaze is too thick and it's pulling away from itself. But in context of this whole piece, if we just zoom out for a second, I feel like it works. Surprisingly. But also, the real test is how it looks in the garden. So let's go take it up right now. So I've put it next to my other stool. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but I made him in my studio maybe a year ago. And they're like a nice little stool set, huh? I think it looks very cool. It's pretty comfy. It's a little low, but that's all I can fit in my kiln. I don't know. I think it looks really good. All right, friends, I hope that was a fun video for you today. I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.